Hello there, group, and well, welcome to my little explanation here of how to use a real-life flight briefing package. Some of you asked if I could do a small video about it, and well, I will do so here. I did upload this briefing package today. This is a real-life briefing package for a flight from the Faroe Islands to Dublin, Ireland. And well, this flight planning system we are using is actually a system, a professional system that a lot of airlines throughout the world are using. I think more than 350 airlines worldwide are actually using this very nice flight planning software. What I have done is built or dispatched the whole flight in the dispatched software, and then this briefing comes out in a PDF format. And now the first page you see here is of course the cover page telling you that this is a flight. I called the flight AVI 001 from Varga to Dublin. Scheduled time of departure is today at the 22nd, 12 o'clock UTC. There are no messages flagged for this specific flight, and the ATC flight plan status is unknown. That is because we haven't filed it to Eurocontrol or any other now. This is just a small demonstration, not a live flight. Here we have an operational flight plan. This is a demonstration operational flight plan, but again, every company has its own customized flight plan log layout. This is just an example how you can do it. For this flight here from Varga to Dublin, we have made this flight plan here, operational flight plan. If you look up here, date of flight, you can see what kind of aircraft it is. We used some performance data from an AVRO 100. Out here you can put in your crew details, and you can see who actually dispatched the flight. The flight goes from Varga to Dublin, and the alternate is Belfast. You have the ICAO and IATA codes out here for the airports, and also the altitude for the different airports. Out here you write in your times, your off-block time, your airborne time, your landing time, your on-block time. Then of course you get a total block time and a total airborne time. And a more important thing is of course how much fuel did you use. All companies are very eager to save fuel these days. So we are controlling very much how much fuel we are using in the company's airlines today. So you put in of course your fuel when off block and on block, and then again how much you used. Down here is your ATC routing. Today we are flying direct to Olger using the airway Upper November 614 down to Stornoway. Then we'll continue by Upper November 615 to Glasgow. And our normal speed around 400 knots, going flight level 320. Then Upper Papa 600 to Blaga, Upper Papa 620 to Nemat. And down here you can write all the ATC messages that you get down, or your clearance, or any kind of notes. To the left here we have fuel planning. And the fuel planning in commercial aviation today, it's very strictly, and there are very close rules to follow in how much fuel to upload into the aircraft for a specific flight. Here we have 200 kilos in taxi fuel. We have a trip fuel, a trip time. We have contingency fuel covering 5 minutes extra flight. The fuel to alternate. Then the final reserve fuel. This is a 900 kilo or the half hour, which is required by law to have when you get over your alternate. So minimum required fuel today will be 5,289 kilos, and I just for the fun of it today put in a little extra, so 6.5 tons of fuel. Over here is a correction table where you actually can see this flight is filed in flight level 320. Wind component, average wind component is actually 0 today. We have trip time, trip fuel, some penalties if you have in fuel trip, if you have 10 knots of unexpected headwind. If you have more weight than you actually planned for down here, then of course your trip fuel will be changed as well. And the differential cost out here, you can see exactly how much money you are losing if you are flying other levels than the planned and the most economical one. The most economic one is the one where you have a 0. A bit further down, you have your masses. You can see here we put in 75 passengers and used an average weight for it. We have the zero fuel mass, takeoff mass, landing mass out here. And if you have any kind of last minute changes, you can of course write that down here. Over here, additional information, the total route distance, the cruise speed, which is used for the planning of the flight plan, average wind component, which database we have been using, grid wind observed, these are the forecasted winds, and the operational flight plan, when is it produced. And then most important thing is of course the gain loss function regarding fuel uplift. Fuel is very expensive here in the Faroe Islands. I didn't put in fuel prices in Dublin, but it is definitely cheaper than in the Faroe Islands. So we probably want to go with as less fuel as possible or close to minimum required fuel. Then down here you have all the waypoints, grid mora, FIRs you're flying through, wind components at each each waypoint, of course. Down out here, true airspeed, ground speed, temperature, true magnetic tracking heading. The CAT is a very nice thing. It's the clear air turbulence, and it tells you down here that around autumn you'll have some turbulence. Actually, this is moderate turbulence, which is forecasted in this area. So be aware, maybe you need to change flight level in order to get a more smooth ride. Out here is again another tool where you can optimize the flight. And down here is actually an arrival into Dublin today. Here are the waypoints, positions, the FIRs you are flying through. Down here, adequate airport list, these are your en route alternates. If you get any kind of medical emergency en route after 50 or 52 minutes in flight, you'll be able to see which airports are actually the closest one, and you can also go down in the weather briefing and check out the weather at these airports. Good, then we have the weather briefing. Up here, your departure airport. A very good way on how to use this. Print it out. Read the med report, 280 at 13 knots. Already now I will have my mind set up for departure on runway 30, so I'll take my pen and make a small circle around 30, meaning I am mindful set up for this departure. We have some light showers of rain in the vicinity here, some low clouds, wind at 850 feet, 325 knots, so that's very good. The forecast is also very good. Then you have your med report and your forecast for Dublin. It's a bit spicy today as well, so read it through and see what you can get out of it. Also, check your alternate. It's a little bit windy down there today. And then of course you have the weather of all your en route alternates, all the adequate airports en route. Check out if there's any segments. Here is one, and you can check out the area and also the position. You can plot in the positions here on your weather map and actually see where is this severe turbulence area they are talking about. Then we come to the NOTAMs. Of course, you have to, as a pilot, to read through the NOTAMs to see if there is any kind of restrictions to what you have actually planned today, or something that will, go in and make a mess of your flight. If you take the first one, Varga up here, AD means it's an aerodrome message. It's been valid for 52 days. And then you have Dublin. There are 2 taxiway NOTAMs here, and you can check if that has anything to do with where you are landing. Then you have your alternate and FIR NOTAMs, and you can continue down and have a look at the different NOTAMs. Then we have here your ATC route. This is the route that has been filed. And you have your weather chart. This is your wind and temperature chart for flight level 300. You have your ATC route in the middle of the flight, so you can see what you are up against. You have your vertical profiles chart. This is a very nice chart for you to use. Basically, it gives you the whole route down here. You have your climb profile, your cruise profile, your descent profile, and the turbulence we talked about before. You can see this is what you're actually passing through right here. So a good thing will be, if you encounter any kind of turbulence out here, would be for passenger comfort, you know, to descend a little bit down, to go below it, and then eventually stay down here. Good. Continuing a little bit, the significant weather charts. We go from the Faroe Islands down to the UK, continue over to Dublin, and you'll be able to see the jet stream we are passing, and this is actually what is causing the turbulence or the forecasted turbulence. You can see the different areas out here, and you can see what is in actually the areas by reading it out here to the left. Good. Then of course you have your a chart where you basically can see where you are flying and make some notes. And yeah, that was a very quick briefing of your flight. Again, it's supposed to go at 12 o'clock today, and I planned it with forecasted winds. So if you download the actual winds into your flight simulator, you'll be able to have the exact same data in your flight simulator, and therefore the times and everything should be actually very close to the real world. This was a very fast briefing. Hope you enjoyed it and liked it. And again, check out our the Facebook group, Simulation and Aviation. This is where we will discuss live things. We'll show you live videos from the cockpit. We'll also, you know, make some briefing once in a while and talk a lot of simulator stuff. So for aviator fans, have a great weekend. Thank you for listening, and see you the next time.